Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Tutor Talks. I know it's been a really long time. Both been insanely busy, but we're back right before the playoffs, right before the good stuff.
Yes.
This right after the playing game. The Lakers just beat the Warriors. We figured this was a good time because we get it right before the playoffs. We talk a little bit of the playing game, and we can talk about all NBA and the awards and stuff like that. I just want to open it up, just briefly talk about that game a little bit. The Lakers came out really sluggish.
Yeah.
LeBron couldn't move. AD could move, but Draymond was doing an amazing job on him. Draymond's been pretty amazing defensively all year. Can't shoot, and he sucks offensively, and it's kind of a dud, but he's still an elite defensive player, not only IQ, but now he was pretty physical in the game, so he can still hold his own a little bit against Anthony Davis, who's Anthony Davis. So that's good. They gotta cut Drummond out of the rotation. I mean,
Well, I don't understand why
I don't
Marcus Gasol has been
I
ready
don't
to bench.
understand why Marcus Gasol is not playing either. We're both on the same.
He's way more. I mean, he's
I
not
think
way more mobile, but he is more mobile than Andre Drummond, especially out on the perimeter.
he's not more mobile, but he can be out on the perimeter. Like he's slow.
Yeah.
He just knows where to be on defense. He's a better defender, and he doesn't take away Anthony Davis's offense on the block.
No, and he can facilitate.
And he can facilitate. But the good news is the ball movement was still pretty good for the Lakers in the second half because of LeBron's ability to find open cutters. Caruso was getting easy buckets all night off of cuts through the middle. That's one of the things, the keys that will be for the Lakers offense in that Phoenix series, which we're going to get into. I think Phoenix is a bad matchup or the Lakers are a bad matchup for Phoenix. I feel really bad for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for them that they matched up against the Lakers.
I know they get a high seed thinking, nice, we got a high seed, and then first round Lakers.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
So what do you think about the Grizzlies game, real quick?
I was able to catch a little bit of it, and I was in and out because I had some stuff, but the Grizzlies came out shooting amazing.
Yes,
this is a beast. There's been like 8 games this year where he just is physically like dominating everyone, and it's insane. And I just, there's nothing more you can say about like Jonas Valanciunas putting up like 20 and 20.
Yeah, that was huge. There was a crazy stat actually. Grizzlies centers or players with 20 points, 20 rebound games. He's had 6. Marcus Gasol's only had 1. That was surprising. But then you have Zach Randolph with 20.
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about yesterday's playing games.
Yeah.
As everyone, you might not know, Russell Westbrook is like my second favorite player of all time. Third favorite, maybe,
I was very shocked the Celtics came off that strong.
Well, you know what? The thing is, they didn't. Like, the whole team sucks except for two.
Well, that's true. Russell Westbrook was way off.
Westbrook was way off his game. He looked timid, but he never usually does. He usually he's going 1,000 miles per hour, and that's what he struggles with. Is he's doing too much, and he just wasn't. Usually he has his fire. He didn't seem to have it.
Yeah.
I actually heard people say this. I don't know if I don't think it's true. I don't think Westbrook would ever do this, but there's some people that think he just kind of tanked the game so that he could play Philly instead of Brooklyn.
I mean, yes, but you've got to beat the Pacers, and the Pacers are not a walk in the park. This is actually why out of the East, I thought it was going to be Wizards Pacers going through.
I thought it was going to be Wizards Boston. I thought Boston was going to be 8. I just didn't see, just because Pacers are missing LeVert. Pacers are missing.
No, LeVert played.
No, he didn't play. He had COVID.
I thought he played yesterday.
No, he didn't. He's out for 2 weeks.
So I saw him in the warm-up, in the highlights. No, well, whatever. But I think Sabonis is enough for them to beat them, to be quite honest.
Sabonis is offensive hub, and since he came back from his injury, he's been insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
He helped me out in fantasy. Crazy.
I know. So I'm in 2 fantasy leagues, one with you, and my team got injury destroyed, and I just kind of gave up. And I wish I didn't, because I didn't realize that gives you like the last place toilet paper roll when you get in last place, and I was in last place in our league.
You were ranked last. I don't think you were necessarily in last place, but you were ranked last. which was so weird because there was guys with worse. There was 2 guys with worse records than you.
Yeah, it's because I think I scored the least amount of points because I just stopped making subs after I missed the playoffs.
Yeah, but they were not playing at all. So
yeah. So
point is, I don't know, but
my other fantasy team won the league against Buck Desjardins. Shout out Buck Desjardins. Your team got shit on me. And that team had Giannis and Julius Randle, so it wasn't gonna lose.
And real quick, the best pick this year in fantasy, my guy, Nikola Jokic.
My best pick was Julius Randle just because I got him in like the 5th round.
Yeah.
So I just think the insane value there is insane. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Sabonis was killing it towards the end. Westbrook was also killing it towards the end. Westbrook started.
Yeah, I said pick it up.
I said he was washed because I didn't know he was injured. I called you one day freaking out because I was like, he doesn't look the same. He's not moving the same, and he's still not moving the same. But his passing is so underrated that it's because he's not getting to the rim the way he was last year or 2 years ago. But he's so many open opportunities, and he's still fast. So that's good. But with Bradley Beal at 75% or whatever, and not even at 70, he looked bad.
Yeah, his hamstring was bugging him like crazy.
Bertans sucks. Just the Wizards did not look good, and
Rui's also injured too.
Yeah, and Tatum came out scorched earth. Kemba looked good. I don't know if you saw, but Kemba's on me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's gonna be Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown versus Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal because
Jaylen Brown has the wrist injury, so Jaylen Brown is out for the season.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's a rough hit for the Celtics. The Celtics could kind of be an upset.
Jason Tatum carried. Jason Tatum carried.
And I don't want to talk about the Charlotte Pacers game. The Charlotte sucked. They've sucked.
That was sad.
And they don't.
I mean, I wanted the Hornets to win, but I didn't want them to be the Pacers, so I was okay with that.
All right.
I wanted the Spurs to win, but
I wanted the Spurs to win just because I like DeJounte Murray. He kind of clutched up for me in fantasy too a little bit, so I wanted my guy out there. And Pop. I don't know. It's gonna be rough for these the talent they have there. And DeRozan, because I want to compare Westbrook and DeRozan because those are like 2 guys I really like that have really like awkward playoff histories, and these play-on games were not good for either of them. DeRozan looked really bad. And especially when his shot isn't going like the midi, he's not providing much. I think he eventually picked it up a little bit, but he still shot 5 for 21. That's not.
Yeah. At some point he was kind of just forcing it, but the Grizzlies do have a good defense, and I think that's not a good matchup for the Warriors.
The Warriors already beat them to get the 8th seed.
Just barely though.
Just barely, and Curry had to put up. But it wasn't a clean 40. It was like a rough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't a good game.
I just want to
it's not somebody you want to see that's seeking vengeance.
Yeah, I want to get into these award picks because we're kind of late with these because like the voters already voted, but I don't give a shit.
What hasn't come out?
Do you want to start with the All NBA teams, or let's start with the awards that don't matter as much? 6th man of the year. Because we're trying to focus this podcast on mainly playoff stuff. We're just going to kind of skim through these awards. So we'll give our explanations, but I think I'm going to go with Joe Ingles for 6th man of the year.
I'm going with Clarkson. I mean, they basically did the same thing, just in opposite halves.
Well, yeah, and just the whole season, Joe Ingles was really efficient, and Clarkson was really rough in that first half, this second half of the season. And it's not like Ingles didn't play well in the first half; he just wasn't getting touches, but he was still scoring efficiently. So for me, it's like go with Ingles, or the other option is Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, yes, but that's like half a season because he wasn't doing that in Detroit, really.
Yeah, I can't remember how many games he's been in New York. I think he played most of the season in New York. I think he got traded like 20 games in. Does that sound right? I don't know.
But I don't know. It wasn't. I don't think it's enough.
He made a really big impact on the New York team.
For sure.
Yeah, but all right. So Joe Ingles just been efficient all year. I think Clarkson was really good, but I also kind of want to open it up the award a little bit because it's been the Lou Williams like guy that takes the most shots off the bench and scores.
Yeah,
I want to
true.
change that a little bit. I don't want it to be the same type of thing. So I think I'm gonna go with Ingles. But I think Derrick Rose and Saric and Jalen Brunson all deserve a little nod. And Dwight Howard, I'm gonna give some shine to because that's my guy. But I mean, he's not really in this conversation. All right. Do you want to do executive of the year? I have a guy in mind, and this team is supposed to have a lot of awards. I'm not going to give them that many awards, so I'm going to give this guy a shout out.
Who? Sorry?
I'm going to give James Jones from Phoenix. I think
honestly, it's between the two New York teams.
Yeah, the Harden trade, I don't know. It's hard because, he did bring in KD and Kyrie last year, so it's kind of – I mean, if you think the Harden –
You're right. Well, I'm thinking more of, the fact that he did trade for Harden. He did then trade Jared Allen for who, sorry?
For Harden. It was in the Harden.
Oh, that was Harden. And then, he gets Blake Griffin. He gets the Marcus Aldridge.
You're right.
Obviously.
I don't know. You can give it to Sean Marks. I'm going to give it to James Jones. I think the Chris Paul trade was –
No, but I also think the Knicks could do it. Could get it.
The Knicks guys. I like the Knicks guys, but I do think I'm going to explain in a later award, but I'm not in love with the roster and some of the things that was already there. James Jones, fantastic job. I guess he hired Monty Williams last year, but that's still part of it. The roster is just so solid. Chris Paul's there. I mean,
and that's why I'm giving it to the Nets guy, because I get that it's stuff he did last year, but it's everything that he put together. He put it together,
You're right. Well, I think James Jones, same thing. A lot of the things he did were, and he drafted a lot of those guys. So I'm gonna give it to James Jones. I also think Daryl Morey from Philly deserves some credit because
that's true.
Last year's Philly, but this year's Philly. And I remember telling you before the season, I thought that Seth Curry trade was amazing. I thought Philly was gonna be. I have been a Philly preacher for years, and it's bitten me in the ass time and time again. In the Raptors series, I picked Philly. I rode with Philly. When you have a take, and it's not like you're rooting for this team, but you're rooting for your take to be right. That you root for that team so often that
you become. You just want to be right.
That's kind of me with Philly. I shouldn't root for Philly, but I just root for them because they are part of my take. All right. Next up, let's do Coach of the Year. There are 2 front runners, 3 if you want to include Quinn Snyder. I don't think Quinn Snyder's in this discussion.
No.
And Quinn Snyder won a
coach. He's not. I mean, he was expected to be top.
I mean, the Jazz weren't expected to be the top, but they were. I think part of the Jazz success is just their health.
No, they were supposed to be top 4 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. And, I just think that part of it is they never had a COVID stretch. They never had and they have a deep team. And, I mean, even with the Donovan Mitchell as a regular season team, it doesn't affect them that much. You can argue for the playoffs, Donovan Mitchell is not 100%, and it affects it, but I don't think for the regular season they didn't all that much. I'm going to give it – well, do you want to – the 2 guys, there are 2 guys that are clearly, I think, the favorites.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau and Monty Williams.
I'm going to give Doc Rivers some shine, too. Doc Rivers is a really good
I thought you said Tom Thibodeau.
No, I did. I'm just giving Doc Rivers a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I was really harsh. I was really harsh on Doc Rivers, and he's been really good.
But for me, it's the same thing with the Jazz. They were expected to be top 3, top 4.
But were they expected to be 1? The thing is there's a... Okay. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Tom Thibodeau, and my rationale behind it is I really don't think this roster is that good. I think they grind. I think they play defense, and they don't have amazing defensive talents.
It's a Tom Thibodeau team.
It's a Tom Thibodeau team, and it's his culture. It's his rotations. It's the guys buying into his system that makes them this good. And I mean, I love Randall, and the Randall explosion has helped a lot. But I think the biggest part of this New York identity is that defense and that grit, and I think that's all
for sure.
And I think a lot of the things with the Suns that have improved is Chris Paul. I think a lot of the intangible stuff. And I also think that roster, I really am in love with that roster from a regular season standpoint when you don't have to play the Lakers 7 in a row. I love that roster. And I think that I'm giving more credit to James Jones for assembling. It's just a collection of everything. I'm not going to give it to one Monty. I think the Knicks, it's Tom Thibodeau. I mean, Mitchell Robinson being hurt, they still look awesome. You know.
For me, I mean, I give it to Monty just because, like, yeah, they do have a solid squad, but I mean, I thought they were going to be back end of the playoff picture.
Yeah, I do think that the Lakers would have a better record if they were healthy. I think that the Clippers, I expected Kawhi to play more games. He ended up missing like only 5 games in LeBron. Paul George, you know, they just, and Serge has missed so many games. And I just don't think they're trying. They're kind of mailing in the regular season, and I didn't see them doing that again. I thought we saw how it worked last year, and I thought they weren't going to do it again, and they did. So whatever. I thought that, you know, they're like, we saw what happened last year. We're not going to do that again, and they didn't listen.
True.
And you know, Nuggets, they started off really rough, and the Jamal Murray injury. So I just think that a lot of things could have gone different in the West, and you know, I'm not taking anything away from the Suns. They're really good.
No, but you can say that about the Knicks too. I mean, the Celtics should have been up there. The Wizards, I think, should have been higher than them.
Yeah, but you're right. But
it's the same thing. It's just he. I mean,
the thing is, in the East, the majority of the good teams were healthy most of the season, and so
true.
You know, with the Celtics, even they were like Jaylen Brown. I know he's injured now, but he was there.
No, they were healthy. Yeah.
They were disappointing, but they were healthy. So, and like for me in the West, a lot of the reason these teams aren't good is because of their health. And then, like the Trailblazers were missing CJ for like 20 games, and
yeah, true.
So you know, I was wrong about the Trailblazers. I thought they were going to be a 3 seed in the East. In the West, I thought they were going to be better. They suck.
But I think a lot of it is the CJ McCollum injury also. Like,
yeah, but they're just
not even just that, because Enes Kanter was also injured. So was what's his name, Nurkic.
I mean, I just talked myself into the Covington injury, or the Covington and Dennis. What's the guy's name? The dunk champion. Derrick Jones Jr. I talked myself into those additions too much. I thought that their defense a lot better.
I thought the big additions for them was Enes Kanter, because
no, it was Covington. Covington is carrying their defense. I mean, without him, he's
true. I just thought they were good when they have more bigs.
Well, because Covington and Kanter and Nurk do the same thing. They play no defense and are really good.
Oh no, they're opposites.
No, they both do the same thing. I mean, neither of them play defense, and they're both really good on the block. I mean, you know.
Well, they also haven't had what's the big guy's name? The young guy,
Collins. He's gonna get injured every year. We've said this like 4 years ago.
I know, but he's so good for them.
All right. I'm gonna move on. Most improved. Now this is to a Nick.
Easy.
I think there's only one option here. It's Julius Randle. I mean, holy shit. And I thought Julius Randle. I have been saying for years that Julius Randle is kind of underrated, because that first year he was in New Orleans when AD was forcing his way out, he
played really good.
He did, but it's the playmaking that opened up. And I guess, you can argue that the ball is in his hand more, but he's just.
It's not that. No, yeah, that's why. But he's doing so much shooting. ISO.
His shooting too. His shooting.
Yeah. He's taking people himself. That's easy.
His 3-point percentage jumped from like 30 to like 48, to 40. It's crazy. I can pull it up here, but it's really impressive, his jump. The decisions he's made, because I've watched Julius Randle for years. The decisions he's making, like towards some of these end of these games, and it's like, even if he's having a bad game, I completely trust him. It was Clippers that kind of mattered for them, and he was awesome. So, Julius Randle's 3-point percentage jumped from 27 last year, 41. That just doesn't happen.
What was his field goal percentage?
His field goal percentage was down last year. I remember because I had him on fantasy. Because the season where I said he was really good, but he was a one-dimensional player. He's only just get it on the block and score and push it through and score. He was shooting 52% in New Orleans in 2019, but last year he shot 46. So he's not shooting much better this year, but his assists have gone up and his 3-point percentage has gone up, and he's shooting more from three. So he's just been terrific this year. And his EFIG, like his efficiency, field goal percentage, which is like it calculates how actually efficient you're being if it takes a 3-point and field goal. It went up from 49 to 51 this year. So, improvement. And he's shooting 81% from free throw this year. So I don't know any of their options.
He's great all around.
Jeremy Grant.
That's an easy one to give out.
Jeremy Grant's just shooting the ball more. And Michael Porter Jr., I know he's improved a lot, but to me, you can't give this award to a player from first to second year. It's basically what he is.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I mean, Julius Randle he went from, I mean, he's their A option, and he's a big reason why they're fourth in the East.
All right,
so that's an easy one.
Now I'm gonna move on to the award we don't want to do because we really.
No, we should do rookie of the year.
You want to do rookie of the year first?
Yeah.
Rookie of the year for me is pretty easy. It's LaMelo. I mean,
okay. I just wanted to make sure we were gonna agree on that. Yeah, easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Anthony Edwards. I do want to say this about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards proved me wrong. He's special. He's gonna be special. Remember before the season, I talked a lot of shit on him. I was like, he's not worth the number one pick. This is the worst pick. I still think LaMelo should have been number one, but I mean, it's not like I just thought. I said, look, he reminds me of Andrew Wiggins 2.0. He doesn't care that much about basketball. But there's something extra competitive about him that even though like he just wants to win and he wants to score, and you see it when he's out there. And
yeah, I didn't think he was going to be as great a pick as he was, as he turned out to be.
He was really bad for the first long stretch of the season, and it was looking like he was going to catch up if LaMelo didn't come back and play decently well. And Halliburton is a nice young player, but he's not.
The only difference is that LaMelo did it from game one to the very last game.
Yeah,
that's what gives it to LaMelo. And I mean, yeah, he was injured a lot, but he came back just as strong.
Yeah, except for the last 2 games of the season. But the playing.
Yeah, I mean, Edwards. I didn't think he was going to be anything near number one pick, but he's not a bust at all.
Not,
I mean, we can't use that.
And I have to recant my statements on him. Defensive player of the year. We got to do it. We got to get it out of the way. Me and you both don't want to do this. It's Rudy Gobert. There's no argument.
I was looking at some
all the numbers, defensive plus.
Hey, somebody's saying Giannis could win it again. Maybe he could pull it off, but yeah,
it's Gobert.
He just can't do. He's just a great help defender.
He annoys the shit out of both of us because he's a crybaby. He can't switch. He's just annoying. And I think he's going to get exposed in the playoffs again.
Again, yes.
I mean, first of all, if he's playing the Warriors, it's going to be fun seeing Curry pull him out and expose him. But I have to give it to him, and this is why. The Jazz, if you take him off that team goes from the first team to the 7th or 8th. I mean, he literally
somehow he has a huge impact on them. I don't know how. I mean,
it's because they're selling out on the 3-point land because they know as soon as he's in the paint, it's Rudy's paint.
Yes.
And you see, I was watching, I forget who I was watching, but it was a player, and he got a pump fake. He had Royce O'Neal, and saying they have no wing defenders is a little disrespectful to Royce O'Neal and Joe Ingles, who are good defenders. But he had Royce O'Neal on a pump fake. He goes in, he has a layup. Gobert's kind of on the other side of the block. Gobert turns to him, and the guy hesitates, and it's just because the fear that this guy.
It's a presence. Yeah, it's a presence.
The numbers all back it up, and you can't. It's really hard to score on him at the rim.
No, I've always given him that he's an amazing help defender. He's just not an on-ball defender.
He's not, but you know what? Rim protection, I think, especially for the regular season, is more important defensively.
I don't know. Well, that's why I do like Ben Simmons for Defensive Player of the Year. He just doesn't have the numbers to back it up, but I think he was playing great on-ball defense this year.
Well, he does have the numbers. He has he has a lot of
steals,
impact numbers and stuff, but. And Draymond, I want to give Draymond a shout out. Draymond played really good defense this year. That Warriors defense is
the difference with Ben Simmons also is that he also does have Joel Embiid playing good.
Because Joel Embiid and Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah.
So, Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year. Neither of us want to do it. We have to get it.
All right, next.
Is it MVP?
Yeah.
This has been over for 3 months.
I'm happy because I picked this guy from the beginning.
You picked him in the fantasy league, and I'm so glad we agree on that.
No. I picked him at the beginning of the season to be the MVP.
I didn't, and come on, you didn't expect this season from him. I mean,
I did expect. I told you.
This is the PER. It's the 9th best season of all time. It's
really?
Seasons, LeBron seasons, and that one Curry season. And I think, I don't know, maybe a Harden season's in there too. And it's like this guy is like with all-time great. Like I thought he could win MVP. I didn't think it was gonna be this crazy
easy. And he played every game. Like
and
he was out very minimal.
Every advanced stat says Jokic is the MVP. I tried to argue, look, Joel Embiid for a little bit. I think
no, I'm sorry. Like
no. I tried to like when they were both healthy. I thought it was insane.
I remember, yeah. We talked about it because at that point,
now that
LeBron James is also in contention.
LeBron James was in contention when he was healthy. He's not anymore, obviously.
Yes,
it's Jokic. There's no.
I'm just so happy because I called this at the beginning of the season.
And I know some people want to say Curry, and people are like, "Oh, it's because Curry."
No, that's why. Get out of here.
It's not. Jokic's numbers are insane. I mean, they're
no. Look, the reason I picked him.
Jamal Murray. Wait, hold up. I want to say this. Jamal Murray missed like 12 games, and I think they went 9-3 in those games.
They went better. They were doing better, dude. I mean,
I think they kind of leveled out a little bit, but still, it's insane. And Michael Porter Jr. is so good because of Jokic. Because Jokic is too good as of a one-on-one player to guard with one guy, but you can't because he's gonna find the big guy. It's like defenses like break when they see him.
All I'm gonna say, and then the reason why I picked him at the beginning of the season to be an MVP, I didn't see Giannis running it back, and I wanted to pick somebody that had no help, no all-star help. And
no superstar
him.
help. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you can argue Jamal Murray is like an all-star caliber-ish player, but
no, he's not. I'm sorry.
I think he is. He was averaging.
Okay, he's an all-star, but if you think about everybody else that's in the MVP running, they have like
besides Curry,
potential superstar on their team.
Besides Curry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you have an established player in Draymond Green on that team.
I mean, and Giannis too, but Giannis wasn't gonna run it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Giannis was going to get a third.
This is like clearly Giannis's worst season of the 3 seasons he's had, and he was still amazing. So
true. I mean, he was still playing really well. No, he was expanding his game so much more.
I don't want fantasy. Yeah. Curry, I do want to give him a shout out. He did play fantastic.
Hey, he did. No lie, like all the shit I give him that he's not an amazing. Hey, he got it done with no help. He was getting it done. No, I mean, they were double teaming him, triple teaming him, 4 people on him.
It didn't fucking matter.
It's crazy. But
I think like if I'm ranking players, like the top 5 players, and I'm like, because LeBron right now, I don't know if he's fully healthy, so I'm not like whatever we can leave him out. But then it's like Curry. You can put Jokic in that discussion if you want, because I mean, he's that dude right now. So Curry and those 2 guys, and Embiid with the 2-way dominance. I mean, these 3 guys like. Are looking like the top 5 players in the league.
I don't know. I'm just happy my pick at the beginning of the season got MVP. I should have bet on him.
Yeah. All right. So those are all the awards. I mean, we didn't even need to talk about the MVP. I mean, this has been close.
I know. I'm just happy.
I know, and it's been open and shut for like, and the Chris Paul stuff is. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. I love Chris Paul, and I hate that they make me do this, but. The dude is averaging 16 points per game. I mean, come on, he's not an MVP candidate. I mean,
he's even averaging double-digit assists.
He's not even averaging. He's averaging 8.
How do you not average double-digit assists if you're Chris Paul and you have Devin Booker in your team?
Well, because I think a lot of those plays he's trying to give it to Aiden, and Aiden,
true.
Fuck, yeah. So, all right. Now we're gonna move on to our playoff predictions. Do you want to go round by round?
Let's do East all the way through first, and then West all the way through first.
All right. So I'm gonna do the 1 versus the 8 matchup in the East. It doesn't matter who it is. It's Philly. Philly's gonna win.
Yeah. Easy.
Westbrook would be a little more exciting with Embiid and a little friction.
But yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
2-7.
2-7. Let me pull up the standings.
Dude, it's Nets Celtics.
I know. It's Boston. It's Boston versus the Nets. I just want to pull up the standings just in case I do blank on any of these. It's Brooklyn. Brooklyn's gonna sweep.
I'll give Boston a game, maybe 2.
No, Brooklyn's gonna sweep them. Brooklyn. I think Boston beat them 1 game this season, and it was like a weird fluke night. Kyrie kind of sucked.
I don't take any regular season wins.
And I know, but I'm saying like the reason is just like they kind of destroyed them for the rest of the series, and the Nets destroyed them, and it's like. The Nets kind of own these guys. So the Nets are better, and it's going to suck for Boston fans watching Kyrie just dap them up after destroying them every game.
Well, we have an Eastern Conference rematch from the finals.
Kyrie, by the way, had a fantastic season. We didn't do all NBA teams, but we're kind of time, so I just want to – I don't know. let's just do the first team. So our all NBA first teams in the middle of this. Because
it's front court, back court, right?
It's front court, back court, but there are players that are eligible for both. So it's front court, 2 forwards, and a center. But they opened up Embiid to be available at power forward.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to do that because it's just like he's never played a power forward minute. So am I going to really put him at power forward? I don't know. The locks for first team are Giannis, Jokic, and Curry.
Yeah, because they really have nobody competing at their positions.
Now, Luka, I'm going to put on the first team. It's hard for me to decide whether I'm going to put him at guard or forward.
Yeah,
so I can put Dame on there, and then those are my 5.
I don't know. I think Luka at guard, and you got to pick a different forward. I don't really think.
And then well then you could put Jimmy Butler at forward or guard.
No, Jimmy Butler did not have that great a season.
Jimmy Butler did, and the numbers prove it. And the Heat's record when he was, because he missed a lot of those games because of COVID. But you know what? Because I think he was better than Kawhi. I do think Jimmy was better than Kawhi.
You're disrespecting my guy Julius Randle.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm gonna give it to the 3 guards. I'm gonna give it to Curry, Dame, Luka, and then I'm gonna have Giannis and Jokic. So that's just the team I see fit.
I mean, I think it's Randle, Jokic, Giannis.
I want to put Randle on the first team, but I can't. I'm sorry, he's not first team. He's second team.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There's another forward/guard that I don't really know. I think he missed too many games. Paul George.
Paul George is my 3rd team. He's good, but he had too many matches where he was kind of mediocre.
He had too many injuries, and his production really dropped in the second half.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep mine with Randall. So yeah, we're good.
All right, cool. All right, Boston is gonna get swept.
And then we have Bucks Heat rematch.
Bucks Heat rematch. I'm going with Milwaukee this time.
I think Milwaukee maybe sweeps.
No,
just out of anger.
Milwaukee in 6.
What? I'm sorry.
Gonna have
nobody. Their rookies aren't playing good anymore.
No, I know, but I still think that the Heat started to look really good towards the end of the season. Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler have still both been fantastic if you look at the numbers. Duncan
Robinson's been good.
And Duncan Robinson has picked it up. I'm just gonna give it. Jimmy Butler's gonna have one of those games that he did in the bubble where he forces everything, and then there's gonna be one game where the Bucks kind of
give it.
Yeah, they're gonna have a Budenholzer game.
All right, the next matchup I think is the most interesting one is the Knicks Hawks.
It is clearly the only really even first round series. I've gone back and forth on it. So much. The Hawks are really good with Bogey and the new coach. By the way, I want to say at the beginning of the season, I said that the Pacers firing Nate McMillan was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and that he's a great coach. And I picked against the Hawks at the beginning of the season because I said I didn't like the way they approached defense, and that was because of Lloyd Pierce. That is completely flipped now that my guy Nate McMillan is the Hawks head coach. So I want to wear that one as a badge of honor because I said that Nate McMillan's a great coach, and he is. I'm gonna go Hawks in 6, but if it goes 7, the Knicks are winning because there's no way that the Hawks win that game in Madison Square Garden in Game 7.
I'm gonna go Knicks just because I don't see. I mean, they have Trae Young. Danilo's been playing really well for them, but Danilo, I think the Knicks have so many more options.
But it's Bogey, man. The Bogey thing, and then Clint Capella has been amazing. And just there's so much more offense, and they're good defensively now. So the Knicks did beat him in every matchup, but there was just so many guys that missed games. And Hunter's back now. Hunter wasn't in any of those games. Bogey wasn't in it, and he missed 1 or 2. Danilo missed 1. So I'm gonna go with the Hawks in 6, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks. Going Knicks on that one.
Because Trae Young, I don't know. It depends on how Trae Young looks. Because Trae Young can come out, and then you're not going to pick against the Hawks if Trae Young's going to score through.
True.
They've been able to hide him on defense because the guys have been playing really good defense, and they have Rudy Gobert-ish type defense with Capella on. I'm not saying impact-wise, but I'm saying structurally a little bit.
Well, then in the next round you have Sixers, Hawks, or Knicks. Who are you taking then?
Taking the Sixers. All right.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one.
Are we done with the first? We're done with the first round. Yeah.
For the East, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do first round West, or do you just want to run through the East?
Yeah, let's run through the East so that way we remember where.
All right.
Where
Sixers are going to beat whoever wins that crapshoot.
I believe so as well.
Yeah. Embiid is going to be dominant in these playoffs, I think. Embiid has looked different all season. He's looked like.
Well, yeah, if you look at the first two matchups, he has no real center guarding him.
I mean, Capella is actually better than anyone the Nets are going to throw at him. So
yes.
But I want to get to this next series. I'm going to say Philly beats either team in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
This next series is going to be the Bucks and the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the series of, like, it's going to be a great series. Every time these teams have met in the regular season, it's like they don't like each other for some reason. Giannis and KD have some animosity between them. And I don't know why.
I think it's because Giannis is all about, I stick to my team and I don't need superstars, and KD's always gone to superstars.
Maybe, I don't know, but there was like a play in and I think it was like a Christmas game or something. No, the first game after they got Harden. The Nets got Harden. They played Milwaukee on like a television game. Kyrie was out. It was just KD and Harden, and like Giannis goes on a fast break. He goes for a layup and he comes down, and KD just throws him into the ground, and he just kind of turns around and he has like this angry look on his face, and it was hilarious. And I don't know why they don't like each other. They just don't. This series is gonna be so hard for me. I really like what Drew can do on either Kyrie or Harden. And
I think it just depends on Drew's just there for defense at that point. But I think
but Drew's been really good offensively too.
Yeah. Well, I
didn't mention Drew in Defensive Player of the Year, but Drew has been fucking fantastic.
Yeah. No, my thing is I think you focus on Drew's ability to play defense, because his offense isn't going to be stopped by Harden or Kyrie. Like, no, they're not defensive stoppers.
But I think this series comes down to just there's no stopping Brooklyn's offense, especially they're all back now. Kyrie had a freaking fantastic season. It's like what, he's one of like 3 players or something to average 25 points on 50.
Yeah, I think it mainly depends on how healthy the Nets truly are.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go Brooklyn in 6, just because. I don't know. I think this could be the season. Like, there's been some things out of Giannis where they've had him in the roller spot a little more. Chris Middleton's had the ball a little more late. Like, there's some things I've seen that I've liked. They've looked a little different. They've had the dunker spot, which was just kind of a gimmick, but still it changed up the look. They've been switching more on defense, which was a big problem for them last year because they didn't switch and they got torched by Miami. That's actually more of the reason why they lost in Giannis's offense getting stopped. It was they got freaking torched every game by 3 because they refused to switch. They've been switching more, and it caused some regular season because with that dominant like paint defense in the regular season that works in the regular season, when the intensity picks up and there are more 3-pointers, it hurts you, and that's why I picked Miami last year. All right, I think I picked the Bucks because I was too scared, but I literally said every reason. Oh, Miami's gonna win, and then I switched to the Bucks. But I think I'm gonna pick the Nets. I still think that there's no good answer. Well, they're just gonna put up so many points. I mean,
yeah, I think the Bucks.
And Blake has been really good. Blake. The only thing is Blake has been their best freaking defender, and that's kind of scary. Blake and Claxton are the 3 guys that are like good defenders. And Claxton.
I picked the Bucks just mainly because I don't think they truly showed their full potential.
Wait, so you're picking the Bucks over the Nets?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I don't. I think the Nets are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we're both on Eastern Conference Finals. We have 2 different teams.
Yeah.
Last year this didn't happen. We didn't defer at all. I think basically we had the same bracket, so this is interesting. In the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know who the fuck I want to pick. I switch it every day.
I think it's a little bit easy just because, one, if you're picking the Nets over this against the Sixers, I think the Sixers don't have enough offense to shoot off with the Nets.
Well, here's the thing. Embiid's going to average like 40 in this series, and Tobias Harris has been good. So that, I don't know. But I don't know. This is the series that switched. Because the thing is, the defense that Philly has, they have 2 of the best wing defenders in the whole NBA. I'd say best three at least with Thibault and Simmons. The problem is that those guys are also duds offensively, and you don't have to guard them at the wing. So, do you play both of those guys in crunch time? I don't know. I want to see. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna go with. I like Philly. I'm gonna go Brooklyn.
I think either team beats Philly, so I'm going Bucks.
Okay, so Bucks are your finals pick. Wow.
Yep. I like the Bucks.
I like the Bucks more than I don't know, because I picked the Bucks to win the finals last year, but then once I saw them play.
Oh, you picked the Heat. You called the Heat.
No, actually, I went back and watched it. I picked the Bucks. I pussied it out.
Oh, really? I always felt like you picked the Heat.
No, because we filmed that episode. We filmed that episode like before the bubble started. So I changed my pick to the Heat in the first round of the playoffs.
In the bubble.
In the bubble, I changed my pick to the Heat. But so I could change my pick. I could see Harden looking like 70% of Harden, and Kyrie not doing much, and whatever. And the thing is, Harden, I think, is going to be the key to the offense. I think Harden's going to be spectacular because there's no pressure on him in the closing minutes, because that's when you give it to Kyrie or KD. That's the thing I really like about the Nets. But Philly is so good defensively. So that's going to be a 7-game series, in my opinion. I'm going to flip a coin. I'm going to go Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think it's hard no matter what. But I think either team beats the Sixers.
All right. You ready to do these Western Conference predictions?
Yeah.
All right.
So first round, Jazz, either Warriors or Grizzlies?
It's going to be the Warriors. It's going to be the Warriors. I'm sorry, Curry's not going to let them lose. The Lakers is losing different to the Grizzlies. They're going to win. I think it's going to be.
All right. So then that means Warriors, Jazz. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Jazz in 6.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's too much for Curry to overcome.
I do. And I think that, I think it would have been interesting to see him go up against Phoenix, just because I think that defense isn't as good. And
I think that would have been a better chance for the Warriors to go through the first round.
But it's weird because I at the beginning of the season in the middle of the season when both the Jazz and the Phoenix Suns were rolling, someone asked me, who do you believe more in the playoffs? And I said, I believe in the Suns more. But just these matchups that are the 7 and 8 seed are bad for Phoenix. Like, if you ask me who would I pick against the Clippers, I might pick Phoenix. But it's not the Clippers, it's the Lakers or the Warriors. And,
yeah.
But I think the Suns would beat the Warriors. I do want to say that. I'm gonna go with the Jazz against the Warriors.
Yeah, I go with Jazz also.
I do want Curry to prove me wrong, because that show would be hilarious if Rudy Gobert lost in the first round to Curry and no one. All right, I'm gonna go. Let's do 3-6 Portland, because I think this is the easiest series for me to say that Denver's gonna win.
Yeah, it's just Denver's played so
I don't
well
like Portland, man. Just me saying they're good and then having to watch them this year, they suck. They can't play a lick of freaking defense at all.
Yeah, they messed up. I don't know what it was this year, but it just didn't look good at all year.
And Dame, when Dame was struggling, they sucked. There's they aren't good. And I guess, you could say the same thing, if Jokic went through a dry spell, then the Nuggets would suck. But I didn't see Jokic go through a dry spell.
He didn't.
He was freaking dominant. So yeah, there's no Murray, and I think that might limit their championship potential, because if Murray was healthy, I might be like they are winning the West. But I do think that it doesn't affect them in this series.
Yeah, no, and then same thing. I just think Denver's
Denver
way better
in 5.
overall.
Pick Denver in 5. I think Dame's gonna have 60
Denver
piece.
top to bottom. Easy.
Denver's gonna have a 60 piece, but I think otherwise Denver's gonna win in 5. All right. 4-5. This series is actually 2-7 or 4-5 first.
We can do 4-5 first. I think that's an easier one. They're both easy ones. For me, they're both easy.
I thought this one was easy, but the more I looked into it, 4-5.
Is Porzingis playing?
Porzingis is playing.
I don't know. I think you have Ibaka now.
But Porzingis has sucked. Porzingis has sucked. I do want to say that, but Luka. If you told me right now, Luka played like the best player in the world in that series, and the Nuggets and the Mavericks won, I wouldn't be like, you're crazy. I'd be like, damn.
I think the thing is difference this year with the Clippers is they have better defenders.
Serge is Serge gonna play because he missed like the last 2 weeks?
I think Serge wasn't playing just to have him ready for the.
He hasn't played for a month, dude.
Yeah, but still, it's Serge.
I don't know, man. If Serge is not playing, I don't know. I'm still gonna go with the Clippers. I'm gonna go with the Clippers in 6, but
yeah,
it's interesting.
Well, because last year they really I mean, they were throwing 3 guys at Doncic. I think this year they have 4.
Just guys to throw at him. If the Mavericks still had Seth Curry,
yeah, way different.
But they don't. I don't know. I'm gonna go Clippers. I don't like the Clippers in the playoffs. It's just, they don't.
They're such a wild card.
They could either be the best team or the Clippers.
So now we have 2-7.
I'm going Lakers in 5.
I'm going Lakers also. I don't think they have any type of big to slow us
They have
down.
no big to guard Anthony Davis, and
or Andre Drummond.
They did a really good job today but they have no guard. Marc Gasol hopefully gets some minutes in the series. They're in that game against Phoenix where they played Marc Gasol. Like, Marc Gasol played pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Drummond gives me cramps. I see him and I get like a headache and cramps, and I liked the Drummond addition for when LeBron and AD were hurt to carry like the load of rebounds, but I didn't think he was gonna still be playing. He does look better next to LeBron and AD though, but who doesn't, right?
True.
All right.
So 1-4 Jazz Clippers.
I'm picking the Clippers.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough guard play or forward play to match up.
They're just not, and I think that the Clippers are a really good 3-point shooting team, and I think that might hurt the Rudy Gobert defense.
I just think this is a better matchup than it was than last year when they got the Nuggets, because they don't have a big to worry about.
They don't have a Jokic to guard, no. And it's not like we can't just say a big anymore. It's like,
well, I'm wondering if Cousins he's still on the team, right?
Yeah, but he's just like, he's whatever.
Yeah, but he's a body. I'm big on like just having a body to throw out there. You have Cousins, Zubac, and Serge.
Serge, I don't know if Serge is gonna be healthy or if we can count on Serge. I'm still gonna go with the Clippers. I think Kawhi is the best player in the series. I think Mitchell is not back yet, and do we know if he's gonna?
No, he's done. Oh wait, Mitchell.
Mitchell this week could be back.
I think Mitchell is gonna come back.
And I think he is too, but I just, he might not be at 100%. He might look a little, so. I think he's coming back next round, but I still don't have faith in the Jazz. What can I say? I don't ever have faith in the Jazz, but I'm gonna go with the Clippers Clippers that could have a weird series, like it could be like the Clippers should have won this in 5 and it takes them 7 games. I mean,
yeah,
I
think they win it though, and I think 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. All right. Now this series is a rematch of the Western Conference Finals.
I think the Lakers have the toughest road.
I actually think they have an easier road because I'd rather play them than play the Clippers.
Well, they would have to play the Clippers the next round.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, I think Phoenix is the easy first round matchup.
Yes, of course.
And then I think, would you rather have?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Either way, they would have had to face the Nuggets and the Clippers. And I think those are the 2 worst matchups for the Lakers as far as Western Conference.
I really don't. We saw what the Lakers did to the Nuggets last year. I mean, the one guy in the whole league that is kind of equipped to not shut him down, but do the best that you can on Jokic is Anthony Davis.
True.
I mean, one guy that can kind of do it. And if Jokic isn't like super duper human, because remember there was that, I know you don't like looking at regular season but there was that one regular season game where AD was healthy. It was the beginning of the season, and it was the first game where he really, really tried on defense, and he just shut Jokic down. And Murray was still healthy. So with no Murray, and if AD allows you to not have to double Jokic, then you're gonna win that series in 4 or 5.
I don't think it's that easy just because the Nuggets have been playing so good all
But
around.
they've had some games where they struggled. I mean, there's some Jokic games where it's like, and I really do like the Aaron Gordon addition. It has opened him up.
You got to think they also have they've been playing a lot of bigs alongside Jokic. Like they play McGee alongside him sometimes.
But nah, not even. They stopped doing it. I've seen Nuggets
Yeah,
on Twitter about it. They actually wanted to get more minutes. Which I can't imagine begging for more minutes. Oh my god. I'm gonna go with the Lakers in 5 or 6.
I think it's gonna be a little bit harder for the Lakers, and I do take them in 6 or 7.
I'm sorry. I saw them already. You know, we saw this series last year.
It's such a different team, though.
Is it? I mean,
they don't have Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. is better.
That doesn't make them better. They don't have Jamal Murray. That doesn't make
but it's a different look. So you have Michael Porter Jr. who's playing better. You have Aaron Gordon now that you got to watch for like backdoor cuts. You have Jermichael Green, which is another
Aaron Gordon is replacing Jeremy Grant, and Jamal Murray is like I guess replaced by Michael Porter Jr. But I mean he doesn't.
No, I think Campazzo has actually done a really good job replacing him.
I think Campazzo, but I mean he's not.
No, he's not that. But you still have Jermichael Green.
Sorry, I'm going 4 or 5. Lakers in 4 or 5.
I just think 6, 7.
Okay, I mean, and it depends. If LeBron's kind of like 70%.
Okay, that's the thing though. That's another thing why I'm so like.
Yeah, if LeBron looks 70%, but AD looks 100, I think the Lakers could still pull it out in 7. If AD looks 100, if Anthony.
Well, I think you got to worry about everybody because everybody's coming back from injury.
No, but Anthony Davis looks physically fine. Like I've been watching him for 3 weeks. He looks.
Yeah, but he gets injured so easily.
He does, but I don't think. Well, he gets like little knickknacks and he gets up and he's fine. Like
yeah.
So whatever, I'm not worried about him. He's gonna be fine. His Achilles looks fine. He's moving fine.
Okay, so then the Western Conference Finals is Clippers Lakers apparently.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be.
This one's so hard for me because one, I don't trust the Clippers, and
I
don't know how.
I'm sorry, I still don't trust the Clippers. I think that as soon as they feel any real adversity, and if they face real adversity in the Clippers and the Mavericks, they might fold.
I think that's different because Rondo.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Rondo did. I like the Rondo edition. We both did. We both said they should have signed him in the offseason. Just trouble. And we both wanted them to trade Lou Williams anyway, so I guess that doesn't matter. Lou Williams is atrocious in the playoffs.
I mean, I think Lakers take this one because I don't trust the Clippers, but I need to know how healthy the Lakers are as a whole.
I think they're going to be rounding really well.
And Marc Gasol better get some minutes in that.
If they're in the Western Conference Finals, I think they're healthy. I think that's what that says. I think if they're
I don't think so because you don't need to be 100% healthy to beat the Suns or to beat the Nuggets.
Okay. I still pick. I don't trust the Clippers, and I still pick the Lakers. And I think that like there's been like 3 games where the Lakers have looked like the Lakers against the Clippers because usually when they play the Clippers, there's something off. And that one game, there's been 3. The Christmas game where there was nothing wrong with them, and it was just kind of mental. And then they got over that roadblock, and they beat them that March game. And that was, to be truthful with you, that was the moment I knew they were going to win the championship. That March game.
Yeah.
So, when they beat the Clippers last year, I remember that weekend they beat the Bucks and the Clippers, and I knew they were going to win the championship. And didn't have a moment like that this season. That Phoenix game was the closest thing they had to it.
True. And they actually tried against Phoenix.
Yeah, and I don't even think LeBron was playing in that Phoenix game.
No, he didn't play that game.
Yeah, he didn't play that game, so and I still picked them. I still picked the Lakers. And I'm gonna pick the Lakers over the Nets. I don't think they have.
Lakers in 6 for sure.
The Lakers have been the best defense all year without the 2 of the best defenders in the world. LeBron has been amazing these last 2 seasons.
I don't think he's one of the best defenders in the world. He's been playing better defense, but
no, he's been playing all NBA level defense, especially. I know you don't like the stats, but the stats are there. And help defense, you can't deny he's all world. And then
help defense, yeah.
And
but there's better defenders in the NBA.
And all on ball defense, he's pretty good. I mean, so
So finals is set. Lakers Bucks.
Mine's Lakers Nets. I pick Lakers over both of them. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think the hardest matchup for the Lakers would be Philly, because they have someone to guard AD and they have someone to guard LeBron, and then it's like Schroeder and the other guys are kind of like, you know, a little more important. But I still would pick the Lakers over Philly.
Yeah, they have way more firepower. I think I feel sad to say, but I think the Bucks lose. They just don't have enough to keep up with the Lakers.
I think the Nets lose in the finals. I just think that the Lakers are going to play really good defense. It's going to be the first elite defense and elite offense that they're going to play, because I think Philly's going to be an elite defense and the offense is going to be just Embiid. And then the Lakers are going to be
the best elite defense.
Yeah. So we agree on the champion again. Last year when we agreed on the champion won.
So we did. I was surprised.
I was right about a lot of things last season.
You're right about the Heat for sure.
I was, and I can't believe I chickened out, because I literally said there's so many reasons why the Heat are gonna beat the Bucks, and I switched. On the podcast I just got. Sometimes it's those upsets. It's hard to like envision them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was the Bucks. It was the Bucks and the Heat.
It was just like, it's like Giannis had been Superman for 2 years.
Yes.
And it was just hard to imagine it. But I was like, there's so many reasons why the Heat are going to beat them. And
yeah, no. I mean, for me, I'm happy with my win this year with the MVP choice.
My choice was Anthony Davis, and he got hurt, and he just came out looking like.
I told you, it can't be him. He has LeBron James as his teammate.
No, but that's not the reason he didn't win. I mean, the reason he didn't win is
that's one of the main reasons why. Even if he had a great season, I think Jokic would have still beat him out for it.
Well, yeah, I do think that if any version of it, because I wasn't expecting anyone to have a season this good. Like, even if the MVP season I would have predicted for Jokic, I did not predict this.
I told you, Jokic. I mean, I wasn't predicting.
No, but this is like was.
I just knew he was going to be an MVP this year. I told you it was going to be. It was either going to be him or Doncic.
He averaged like 4 more points. He was more efficient. I mean, I didn't expect that.
I knew it was gonna be somebody that doesn't have anybody to lay.
I mean, even just look at the fantasy thing. I thought he was gonna like I know you can't base everything on fantasy, whatever. But like his expected points per game, which would have been an MVP level expected points per game, were like 51. He averaged 60 points.
In your league, damn.
Yeah.
So in our league, he was supposed to average 34, I think, and he averaged 40 something.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, he averaged, and they had an MVP level expected points. It's not like they were like, he's gonna have a.
He's not gonna be that good, yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I think that's all. Unless you want to guess where Kawhi Leonard signs, is obviously.
I don't think he leaves Clippers.
If
he does, he goes to the Raptors.
I'd want him to sign with the Mavericks. I think that'd be fun.
I don't want him to go to the Spurs.
No, I want him to go to the Mavericks. Luka and Kawhi would be fun. And then finally, like, that'd be a duo that would challenge, and then I could kind of root for him, like, you know, because then I can root for Kawhi again. And
I don't know. I think he just stays with the Clippers.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
as long as they don't flame out.
It's been a pretty good year since I filmed this last podcast. Both my teams won. The Lakers and the Dodgers both won since their last podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And we don't talk about football season.
Not until we know what's happening.
I don't want to talk about that. It's been good. Hopefully we can do another one in this playoffs. We just schedule willing. I'm trying to get this up before the Saturday game. We filmed this Wednesday. I don't think it matters who wins tomorrow's playing game or Friday's playing game.
Yeah, they're not getting past the first round.
As long as we get this out before Saturday. So that's been all. Thanks for joining me, Rudy.